Good morning, guys. My name is Khaled. Today is Wednesday, 25th of March 2020. Our subject is Mechanical Drive System, MDS. And today's topic is the basic components of a chain drive system. So let's talk about chain drive system. You can see here there are three components of a chain drive system. The first one is chain. This is chain. We will define chain later. Second is driver sprocket. The small one is drive sprocket, and the big one is driven sprocket. So let's talk about these three components a little. What is chain, what is driver sprocket, and what is driven sprocket. So chain is a continuous loop of links. Chain is a continuous loop of links, usually having steel rollers wrapped around the two tooth wheels called sprockets. So this is chain. You can see here these are the links, and between the loops these are steel rulers which work as a link between the loops. Driver sprocket. Now what is sprocket? Sprocket is a disc shaped component having teeth on its circumference, and it is mounted to a shaft. Now let's talk about driven sprocket. So the driven sprocket is mounted to the driven shaft. It turns when the chain moves, and the force is transmitted to this driven sprocket by driver sprocket through chain. So when the chain moves, this drive or rotate the driven sprocket. Now let's talk about the gear teeth ratio. The relative number of teeth between the driven sprocket and the driver sprocket determines the speed and torque of the driven shaft. The ratio of the teeth of the two sprockets can be selected to either increase or decrease either the speed or the torque delivered to the driven shaft. So with the help of teeth ratio, we can find a formula which will help you in determining or selecting the speed and torque between the two sprockets, that is the driven and driver sprockets. So we will talk about this formula in the next slide. So on the right top corner there is formula R is equal to N dVn divided by N drV. So N is the number of teeth, R is the sprocket ratio, so N dVn. dVn means driven sprocket, drV means driver sprocket. So if you divide the number of teeth of driven sprocket or the number of teeth of driver sprocket, you will get this ratio. This ratio will tell you about the speed between the two sprockets. Here you can see an example. The driven sprocket with 24 teeth and the driver sprocket with 8 teeth. So we will put these values in the above formula. R is equal to N dVn or N drV. So when we put here R is equal to 24 divided by 8. So we get the sprocket teeth ratio 3. It means when this driven sprocket with the 8 number of teeth rotate 3 times, the driven sprocket with 24 teeth rotate just 1 time, because this teeth ratio is 3:1. So this driver sprocket rotate 3 times, so the driven sprocket will complete 1 rotation. Now here the speed is more, so the torque will be less. Here speed is less in the driven sprocket, so it will have more torque. Now here is an assignment for you. The formula is given: sprocket ratio R is equal to N dVn divided by N dVr. So the number of teeth of the driven sprocket shown here is 22, and the driver sprocket has 15 teeth. So you just put these values in the formula, and also tell about the torque. Also discuss about the torque, in which sprocket we have more torque and less speed. Now let's talk about the chain drive speed formula. So R ratio of the speed between the driven and drive sprocket formula is S is used for the speed. So S of drv, speed of the driven sprocket, divided by the speed of the driven sprocket, dvn. We also know that the sprocket ratio in terms of its teeth is equal to number of teeth of the driven dvn driven sprocket divided by number of teeth of driver sprocket drv. So from these two relations we can say, because since the left hand sides are ratio, so this ratio is equal to this ratio. Now sprocket ratio are in terms of speed and number of teeth is equal to number of teeth of the driven dvn or number of teeth of the driver ndvr. In terms of speed, sprocket ratio, the speed formula is S dvr, speed of the driver, or speed of the driven, dvn. You can see from this formula that number of teeth and speed are inversely proportional. It means that if we increase the number of teeth on a sprocket, its speed will reduce, and if we decrease the number of teeth, the speed will increase. Now look here, in this case there are 24 teeth on the driven sprocket, so its speed will be less compared to the driven sprocket where we have only 8 teeth. Now chain drive system formula in terms of torque. We discussed in terms of teeth and in terms of speed. Now we will discuss in terms of torque of the sprockets. So R is equal to T is used for torque of the driven sprocket, TBN, our torque of the driven sprocket, TRV. So you can find this chain drive system torque formula. R is equal to torque of the driven or torque of the driver sprocket. Now we also know that R in terms of speed is equal to N of number of teeth of the driven sprocket or number of teeth of the driver sprocket, DRV. And in terms of speed, we know this is also R is equal to speed of driven sprocket or speed of driver sprocket or speed of driven sprocket, DEN. Now you can see here that number of teeth and torque are directly proportional. If there are more teeth on a sprocket, so it will have more torque but less speed. And if there are less teeth on a sprocket, it will have more speed, less torque. You can see from this formula, this relationship in terms of torque, in terms of number of teeth, and in terms of speed. So all these three relations are combined together and we got this important relation. Hi guys, here is an assignment for you, chain drive speed formula. You are given speed and teeth ratio formula, and you are given also the values of speed of the driven sprocket, which is 230 rpm, and number of teeth of the driven sprocket is 37, and driver sprocket is with 20 teeth. So you have to determine the speed of the driver sprocket. You just put values and by cross multiplication do the calculation. So this is an assignment for you. I hope you solve this assignment and SMS on WhatsApp group. Thank you so much for your support and cooperation.